Welcome to GMP, the Great, Glorious, and Glamorous, aka the Going North Podcast, where authors from around the world help you realize that success is tangible. You'll leave with at least one new piece of inspiration or information to help you keep going north every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. Now let's get on with the show. Alright, today on the Going North podcast, we highlight some super special, awesome humans doing some great things in the world with like 15 R's like Tony the Tiger. It's great. We got some super special, awesome ladies, aka women action takers, y'all. That's right. They are some fempreneurs taking some massive action to grow their business, start their business, and heck, even succeed past the starting and growing phase and beyond. And that's right, we even have their fearless leader here. That's right, Miss LSW herself, y'all. I'm telling you, because it's going to be the first of a magical series. It's going to be a special panel series from two wonderful co-author projects. And the first at bat, we have three of the awesome authors from the super special, awesome book, The Fearless Entrepreneur's book, Fear Less, Be More. So let's give it up for these super special ladies. We're going to go around the magical Zoom cubes and have them introduce themselves, starting with Miss Sunshine herself. And no shame from Florida, it's the one and only Lynda Sunshine West.
Lynda Sunshine West. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks, Dom, for having us. The book, The Fearless Entrepreneurs, that title came to me in a dream one day. And I said, this is the time for me to just communicate with other people and collaborate and get them out there and share their story with the world. So that's what we're doing here today. Thank you so much for having us. Excited.
Woo, with a big old X indeed. Next we got Amy Lee. Mind telling us a bit about yourself?
I live in central Wisconsin. I'm the owner of Soul Healing Bodywork and Wellness Center. I do various forms of bodywork and energy healing, and I primarily focus on women's pelvic health. So helping women conceive naturally, helping with painful periods, maybe some C-section recovery, sexual assault recovery, and a host of everything. I say I deal with all the P's and more. So poop, pee, pleasure, pain, periods, all the things. So that's very briefly me in a nutshell. Tiny one.
Nutshell. So what kind of nutshell we're talking here? We're talking about the walnuts, talking about Brazil nuts.
Probably a walnut. It has its challenge.
There we go. All the nuts indeed, especially the walnut with all the peas. And next we got Sally Green.
Hello, I am the self-care rock star. As someone who was really good at taking care of everybody else and taking care of my business, I realized during COVID that I was really, really bad at taking care of me. And so I started a journey of self-care and self-love, and I turned into the self-care rock star.
Yeah, that's right. The self-care rock star indeed. So with the self-care rock star goodness, does that involve playing air guitar?
It does.
Yes. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Self-care rock star Sally, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Well, congratulations, latest part of a book, The Fearless Entrepreneur's #1 bestseller on Amazon. That's right, indeed. #1 bestseller. So how's it feel?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. By the way, I do play real guitar. Just thought I'd share that out. Throw that out there.
And I just
Yeah,
play
it feels-
guitar.
It feels great. I've been in #1 best-selling books before where they were other people's, but never my own. So for me, this was great to be part of that making it happen thing, to say, because you have doubts about things you do. You have decisions, you make plans to do things and they don't always go the way you plan. And I had doubts that I was going to be able to help spearhead it. So it's been great that it actually happened. I had dreams and desires, but you got to do the work to make it happen. And the whole team just really came together and made it happen so that we became a #1 best-selling book in 12 hours. So it was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. 12 hours a day. That's what I'm talking about. Half a day just to get to the bestseller status. Get for 24 plus hours too to boot.
Yeah, and it was actually the bestseller status in less than 3 hours. The number one was in 12 hours. So, it just skyrocketed once we got going. It's that momentum, right? You get that momentum behind you to have something just catapult, and that's what we had. Absolutely amazing.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. So how's it feel for Amy, Lee, and Sally? That's right. I
Yeah,
didn't have to do a bunch of work.
yeah, no, it was wonderful. I mean, I just thought that the way all of the authors came together to really, build that momentum and push it forward, it was really beautiful to see, and all the support that we got from people who are kind of like super fans, they just want to help get your message out. So they're sharing, and they're not even part of the book, and they're promoting it almost more than you are. So that was incredible to see. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I got to give kudos to Lynda for keeping us all together, and everything she did to help us promote this, and putting all the media together, and everything she did. It was just great, and it's a fabulous fabulous group of people. I can't tell you, the people that I've met through this book are amazing. And they have some amazing, I've gone through and read these stories, and they're going to knock your socks off. So get the book and read some of these things, because some of it, it's like, wow.
Make sure you're wearing socks when you read it, so you'll have socks to knock off. It's interesting these stories, because like Sally said, they'll knock your socks off. Some of the people were homeless. Some had near-death experiences. Some attempted to commit suicide, and they came out on the other end because they broke through those things that they had going on in their lives, and came through with flying colors, to have their businesses and running them, and they tell their stories about that as well. So it's really great to have these stories told, and to be part of such a compilation. Like Sally said, the authors in this book are totally just amazing people. So it's exciting to be part of something like that, to bring together such incredible people into one space.
Oh yeah, I can say it again. Sweet. So speaking of playing off the title Fearless Entrepreneurs, what do you think is an important key or trait to have to be a fearless entrepreneur? Anybody can answer first.
I'll go. I think just really trusting yourself. One of the things that I had an aha moment one day, and I was like, wow, I actually know what I know, and I really can truly help people. So just really honestly trusting yourself, trusting your gifts, trusting your knowledge, and know that, yeah, this is real. You really can do this. You are more awesome than you think. Just, pushing through when you are afraid. Just do it afraid. Just do it anyway. What's the worst that could happen? Just do it.
I think you got to be a little crazy. I think you got to be, you got to put yourself out there, and, a lot of people are afraid to do that. So I think you gotta have some guts. You gotta be a little nuts, just to be able to do this, run your own business, and you gotta have fun, and know that what this is a journey, and it's gonna have its ups, it's gonna have its downs. It's kind of like just riding that roller coaster, and just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I agree with both. And as Amy Lee has pointed out, she's a nut, so she fits perfectly because she's nuts. But yeah, we're all nuts. And the thing to me about fearless entrepreneur, why that title, I truly believe that anybody who is an entrepreneur is fearless. And the reason I say that is because starting a business is scary. There's a lot of things that we don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of unknown, and oftentimes unknown is what is fear. And we just say, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and go for it. I'm going to see what happens. A lot of people will complain, they'll whine, they'll want things to be different in their life, but they're not willing to actually take the step or the action to change it. And that's what I think about entrepreneurship, is that those are the people who are actually taking those steps to change it. And I would say for me, the thing that I attribute to, my success so far as an entrepreneur is never giving up. I have failed probably a good 2 to 3,000 times, just in the last 6.5 years. And, failure after failure after failure. So the question is, do you fail and give up, or do you fail and say, oh, you know what, that didn't work, I'm going to try something different? And I think that that is one of the keys to success, is to never giving up. I had a friend of mine reach out to me. I haven't talked to her in about 3 years. And she reached out to me on Facebook and asked how I was doing. And I said, well, you know what, it's been about 6.5 years. And I finally got to, where I like, I know this is my lane. And she said, congratulations for not giving up, because a lot of people just give up. And I think it's having that never give up attitude that, I got this. I'm not going to let the fear stop me. I like to say faith erases anxious reactions. That's my acronym for fear, is that because when your faith is strong, your fear is weak. And so if you can allow that fear to just dissipate and jump into your faith, then you will keep going. And so it's an interesting journey for sure. It's not a straight line. Just like Sally said, it is definitely a roller coaster ride. Be in for the ride, raise your hands up and just start screaming and say, like, this is fun. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing, but this is fun, and just keep going. I think that's what's really important, is to have that, that mental attitude that it's okay. Things are going to go wrong. But what am I going to do about it? Like, how am I going to handle that? And I think that's what sets us, entrepreneurs apart. Great question, Dom. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, my pleasure indeed. My pleasure indeed. Because you could go around and have you share your stories, but I don't want y'all to be giving the book away, though, because there's a lot to, devour. There's rather a lot to devour from every story, indeed. So, my goodness, because I read a few of the stories, especially for the folks on the panel today, and definitely some powerful stories indeed, especially, well, basically all three of them, with everything that's going on, especially with the Amy Lee's powerful story indeed. So with all of these stories that you're able to finally pen down, put into paper, and join the business of immortality, since you know all about being fearless, I'm pretty sure there's times when you may have had fear before becoming fearless. So any advice for those before they take that first step into feeling the fear and doing it anyway?
Yeah, I wanted to share like just a little bit about how, like, my initial story too, because it kind of answers the last two questions. I left a nursing career. I left my ex-husband, and I had 3 small children. And I used to say that I was too stupid to be scared, but I was just naive. So I was naive. I was too naive to be afraid. I was too naive to be afraid, but I also knew that the way I was living was no longer an option. And I have never once for a day thought that it would not work. I have obviously maybe doubted my skills. I have had down moments where it's like, okay, there's $13 in my checking account, and I've got 3 kids at home, and what am I going to do? And it always comes through. God, universe, spirit, creator always provides. So then it was like, well, everything always comes in like the last day of the month. How about everything comes in like the first day of the month, and then I can get a little buffer? And then it started to happen. So it's really, again, I never thought it wouldn't work. And my business has massively shifted. I've got a podcast now. I'm a best-selling author now. And, the business is shifting. Number 1 selling author. And it's almost, just kind of having that blind faith. Like, thank God I was naive and didn't know about all the hardships, because maybe I would have just said, maybe I'll just stick it out in this very secure, high-paying nursing job, even though I'm miserable and I'm probably going to be on antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds and drink or something. I don't know. So, yeah, that's kind of like a very brief rundown of my experience.
I agree. I think your faith, what Lynda and both Amy said, comes into it a lot, because you have to have faith in yourself, and you have to have faith in a higher power. And my story in the book, I tell about my near-death experience as a toddler, and how I believe that that's the reason why I'm so spiritual, because really nobody else in my family is spiritual, but I've always felt a connection to God, always, from the time I was as far back as I can remember. And I attribute that to my experience as a toddler and almost dying. I mean, I did die, and then they brought me back, but I don't of course I don't remember any of it, but that whole thing, I think that's the spirituality that I have, and that faith is what keeps me going every time. It's like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this. What's the worst that can happen? I'm just gonna keep going after what it is I want until I figure this out, because this is just so much fun.
Yeah, for me, it's, just like I guess, never giving up, having that never giving up attitude. I think it's really important for us to have that, because if you have something that you desire really strong, like Napoleon Hill, talks about desire in Think and Grow Rich. And it's such a powerful message here, is that if you have a burning desire for something, like that's your, like, deep down in your core, there's something telling you, this is something I want to do. So why would you give up on that? My mom, 2 weeks before she passed away, I grew up in a very volatile, abusive, alcoholic household. And 2 weeks before my mom passed away, she said, Lynda, I lived so much of my life with regrets. You make sure you go out there and live the rest of your life with regrets. So if you want to start a business and you don't know how, go ask somebody. Don't let I don't know how stop you, because I guarantee you that every single person right here has had a lot of things that they've encountered in their business time and time again that they didn't know how to do. So you can either go to Google and Google it, or you can go reach out to somebody who is successfully doing what you want to do, and just find out, what are the steps I need to take to get there. And you'll just be amazed at how many people want to help you to succeed. Now, oftentimes we're in an environment where, like, maybe our home environment is one where it's negativity. Like, I have people in my family who are doubtful that I can succeed in various things. They make sure to let me know. Well, now those aren't the type of people I'm going to reach out to ask for help, right? Because that's not the kind of help I want. I want the kind of help that's going to be like, you know what, you got this, you can do this. So find those people. They say we're a reflection of the 5 people we hang out with the most. Who are you hanging out with? And if those people aren't helping you to get ahead, go find 5 more people. It's as simple as that. There's over 7 billion people on this planet. You can find 5 that will guide you, 5 that will support you, 5 that will empower you and motivate you and inspire you. You can find those 5 people, even if it's just on Zoom or Google or YouTube or whatever. Even if it's just there, find those 5 people. That's what I say. And do it. Do what you want to do. It's your life.
Or just get on a collab book with Lynda and you'll find them.
There we go, just like that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sally. Yes, do that too.
Well, and I was going to kind of piggyback on what Lynda had just said about, if you want to do it, do it. Like, don't give up, just do it. But it's been my experience that if you have a gift that you're supposed to share, Spirit is going to give you these little nudges until pretty soon the nudge becomes a friggin' brick wall and you won't have a choice. So just listen the first time or the second, but listen before you hit the wall, because then you won't have any other choice. And then it's going to be like crunch time. So just listen the first time. Trust your intuition.
There we go. Rock solid gems from these ladies, y'all. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. That's right. Forget tennis bracelet. You don't have like 5 necklaces of gems after this panel, y'all. I'm telling you. That's right. Some fearless entrepreneurial gems, indeed. That's right. Jump on that roller coaster with some faith, y'all, and be sure to ask for some help. Or like Sally says, get on a co-author project with Lynda. That's right. Heck, that's probably the easiest way to get yourself as a published author nowadays. I did it last year myself for that reason. I'm like, I am tired of the solo books for a bit. Let me take a break, find a good co-author project, folks I resonate with, and actually do it. And voila, it's a lot easier. Plus, better collaboration opportunities too. So my goodness. So speaking of collaboration, special question for Lynda. Since this is the second of the third book series that you spearheaded, what was probably the 2 greatest lessons you learned from spearheading these successful books so far?
Thanks for the question. Yeah, this is my second. The first was called Momentum, 13 Lessons from Action Takers Who Changed the World. And the next one is called Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore. And Sally's in that one as well. So I'd say the two greatest lessons I've learned on this is to sit back and think first before I act. So my program is called, Women Action Takers. That's my brand. So it's all about taking action. But sometimes the action is to step back and think it out before. I have jumped out of many planes without a parachute just so many times that now I'm to that point where I need to reel it in and stop jumping out of the plane and be a little bit more thoughtful before I jump. So that's one. I'm going to have a parachute from now on. I should say for now on, because not all the time will I always have a parachute. And the other thing is the thing that I feel like I didn't do well enough, I'll just say that, is I think I did an okay job, but I could have done so much better, is bringing the co-authors together more frequently. Then that's one thing that I will do for the future books, is to have more collaborative moments with them, not just having them share their stories. So I did that. I did an author, like a meet the authors kind of event, but I'll do more of those. So that's the two things that I think, because like you said, you mentioned, Dom, when we bring people together, that collaborative effort, and like Sally mentioned it, right? The authors in these books, they're so absolutely amazing. So me as the spearheading of the program, why not bring them together more often, give them more opportunities to network with each other, to get to know each other, to possibly collaborate with each other on other projects. So that's what I say for this kind of project, is bringing them together more frequently.
Yeah, there we go. There we go indeed. So will there be a book tour? Or is this part of just gonna be a virtual tour, or?
Yeah, well, we're doing a lot of interviews right now, and I hadn't thought about doing like a book tour, especially in person right now, because with COVID, I mean, I hear a lot of places are starting to close back up, so not really too sure about that. But doing a virtual book tour, I think that would be a lot of fun. I don't know what that looks like. I have to, go to YouTube, figure it out, or find somebody who's done some and reach out to them, just like I mentioned, reach out to people who have done them and find out, like, what's the best route to take? What mistakes have you made? What can I do better, so that when I launch it, I knock it out of the park? So that's a great question. And thank you for asking that. So yes, virtual book tours, that is definitely something I'm going to look into.
Oh yeah, that's right indeed. Feel like Sally has something to add or something.
No, I was just going to say that would be fun. Something I'd enjoy doing.
And fun is very important.
It is.
Yeah.
To
I
me,
agree. That would be a blast.
Yes, exactly. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to
I
thanks,
can,
Dawn,
can I
for the
bring my air
question.
guitar?
Yes, you can bring your air guitar with you.
Yeah,
Good
there we
swing.
go. Yes, there you go. It'd just be a whole mass of like ladies, and some of the guys and some of the other books be like, okay, what is this random blob of people just playing air guitar with one person playing an actual guitar in this one room? What's happening?
I could get my son's saxophone. I can't
There you
play it,
go.
but I could hold it and look cool.
There we go. You're in the band.
There you go.
There you go. That's right. A band with books, no albums.
There you go.
And
A band of books.
I like it.
That works.
Oh my goodness. Well, solid stuff indeed. Solid stuff indeed. So with all these wonderful stories, what's next for each of you?
Go ahead, Sally.
what's next? Oh my gosh, I have so many things on the table. I'm not even sure. And I think I'm biting off more than I can chew. But I have a course that I'm creating in the middle of. I have a mastermind that I'm creating with Lynda. I have another course that I'm working on with one of the other authors from the other book. So yeah, be on the lookout. I'm going to be around for a while. I have some great stuff coming up, and I have a rock star show on YouTube that I do every Sunday night. And so yeah, that's kind of what I got going on.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep working on the podcast, which is called Women's Pelvis Wellness. I also am still in the middle of the beta program that I have, which is the Body and Soul Reconnection Journey. So people can obviously contact me for that. And I had this amazing idea of having a body and soul reconnection retreat. I don't know how that's going to look or when it's going to happen, because I would love to have it in person, but the releasement and the healing by leaps and bounds that these women are having is incredible. And I mean, I just have to somehow share that. And it would be so powerful in person. So we'll see how that looks.
Awesome. I love it. Well, I have moved into the book publishing, so doing more collaboration books. I have 30, at least 30 women action takers titles that are coming out. And so I'm going to be looking for collaborators on that. So in addition to people writing their chapters, I'm looking for co-authors, people who want to co-author a book with me. So that'll be a different project for me. And in addition to that, I'm super excited about everything I'm doing, of course, because I'm an excitable person. But I've teamed up with a woman. Her name is Richardson. She's the Red Carpet Empress. And she and I are going to be putting on some events together where we create media kits for people, doing live, where you're getting up on stage, teaching you how to speak, getting video for you and all this different footage, which is cool. But here's the coolest part. We're doing this inside of castles. So castles will be our background for all of the interviews and the speaking on stage and all that stuff that we're going to do. So I'm super excited about that, because I had this idea to do something with castles about 3 years ago. And then Crystal came along, was doing her thing. And I said, hey, let's do it together in a castle. And she said, yes. So it's really sometimes that simple for us to collaborate with somebody. You have an idea, you see somebody, you're like, this would be a lot of fun with that person. You reach out to them and you say, hey, I have this idea. Do you want to be part of it with me? And then it's sometimes that simple. And that's what it was with me and Crystal. So I'm super excited about that. Well, and the books, of course, I'm extremely excited about that, because, I love sharing women's stories, that Women Action Takers series of books. These are going to be women action takers who, for example, one of them will be who were incarcerated. I don't know the titles yet, but one of them will be women who were incarcerated, but now they're successful in their line of work. I'm going to do one, women action takers with healing powers. So I'm looking for women who are interested in telling their stories in this, just a myriad of books. They're going to be women's stories, though. Thank you so much, Dawn.
Oh, I already want to sign up, Lynda.
Okay, good. And Sally's going to co-author with me on one. So we got it going on. Yeah. Let's do it.
Dang. Well, I'll be talk about dropping a nuke. My goodness, 30 book titles, huh? 30 book
Yeah,
titles.
well, Dom, it's interesting because I might have mentioned, the Fearless Entrepreneurs, that title came up to me in the middle of the night. It was about 3 a.m. And this happens to me, every once in a while, where something just gnaws at my subconscious so much that it awakens me. And I'm laying in bed saying, should I get up or not? Should I get up or not? And so I do. I get up. I ran into the kitchen, and these titles just started. My eyes were barely even open, but it was like Women Action Takers Who. And then I just rattled off about 30 different titles just like that. And, they were in my subconscious mind still, because I was really not even hardly awake at 3 a.m, but something came out. And I know if I had just laid in bed and gone back to sleep, I would have forgotten all about those. So I know that there's a reason. I truly believe there's a reason why we're awakened at certain points, whether we're awake and reawakened, or if we're sleeping and we are awakened, there's something gnawing at us that's telling us, just giving us an answer to something we should be doing. This is my belief. And then, we as human beings get to decide if we're going to do something with it or not. And for me, I just take the charge and say, let's do it. Let's go. Let's make it happen, because I trust as Amy mentioned, right? My intuition. I trust my intuition, and I know that it's steering me the right way. Am I willing to take the reins and go ahead and go? Yes, I am. Let's do it. I'm a woman action taker.
That's right. Whoop, whoop. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Women Action Takers Party. And my goodness, helping great press kits for ladies, red carpet emperor swag in front of castles. So when you said castles, I thought of moats. And in the land of entrepreneurship, there's going to be some moats out there where you're going to have to find a drawbridge to go across. So it's great to be fearless. It's great to have blind faith, but you're going to have setbacks along the way. So any advice for anyone listening right now on how to deal with setbacks on your fearless entrepreneur journey?
There's a saying that your greatest setbacks are your setup to your greatest comebacks. So when you're experiencing a time where you're having a setback, and again, I have had many, 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 my very, very first venture as an entrepreneur, I lost $70,000, 70,000 .000.
Ouch.
Like I lost $70,000, but you know what? I didn't let that stop me. And what I said at the end of that day, it was literally at the end of a day because it was an event. I said, next time I won't do this. And next time I will do this better. And so what I did the next time is I didn't do that. And I did do the other things better. And so really it's just, for me, it's a matter of checking in and saying, okay, where did I fail on that? What can I do different? What lessons are you learning from your failures? It's not about failing or, losing. It really is about what are you learning from it? So that $70,000 that I say I lost, it was actually an investment. It was an investment of time, energy, effort, and what I learned from it. And it was an event that I put on, which took me 4.5 months to coordinate. Now, if I had gone to college, I would have spent 4 years in college and I would have spent more than $70,000 to learn how to put on an event. So literally it was an event by fire, right? Like I just jumped in, I'm going to do this. I had 700 people in attendance. So it was successful on one aspect, but it was, I lost a lot of money. So I look at that more as like an investment that I had like a quick learning of how to put on an event. And I learned a lot from it. So just keep going. Again, keep going. I'll always, stress that. Just keep going. Never give up on your dreams and just keep going for them. Amy, I saw you were like, you're ready. I feel like I'm on Clubhouse right now. Amy, you're up.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah, no, I was just going to say that, just like with anything in life, there's always the ebb and the flow, and you're not high all the time. And sometimes when you're low, you just have to look at it. It's all your perception, how you look at it. Maybe that low time is just a time that you're supposed to go internal, do that self-healing, be quiet with yourself, and come out another shift, and then another layer released, and then you can get into the flow again. Also, in those moments where you do feel down, make sure that you are self-care rock star, because that's when it's really, really needed. And sometimes you do have to reach out to people to help you, because I am a massage therapist, body worker, energy healer. I need work. I need work almost weekly. So if I'm not doing that, I can't do my job. So, sometimes you need some downtime so you can have some downtime.
Love it. Yeah. And, one of the things that I always like to say is to take those stumbling blocks and make them stepping stones. We take the things that are difficult, or things that we're struggling with, and find out why, and always be curious and go after whatever it is that's driving you. I don't know, drives you crazy, that makes you say, you know what, all right, this didn't work this way. What can I learn from this, and how can I do it differently next time? Stepping outside of your comfort zone. There's so much. And one of my favorite quotes from Wayne Dyer is, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So it's just taking the time to step back and looking at your situation differently and figuring out what you need to do differently.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed. That's right. So if you're trying to get to that castle of success, use those stepping stones of setbacks to get across. That's right. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Find those clients, y'all. That's right. Get a team. Get a big old battering ram. Maybe even a Trojan horse, metaphorically speaking. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. A Trojan horse known as a co-author project.
There we go. Yeah, just reach out to me. Love it.
Oh, man. Well, we're coming down to the question that every guest gets to receive, and that is, if you're to wake up tomorrow and you're 25 again, but this time in the current year of 2021 with all of your knowledge and experience, what advice would you give to yourself? Amy can start first. I already know she's laughing already.
Oh my gosh, I would hold off on having some babies and I would have way more experiences. I do a lot more things. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I probably would have been the opposite though, Amy. I think I would have had my babies earlier so that I'd be done quicker. So I guess it's all how you look at it, right?
Is that all you would do differently, Sally?
Oh no, there's a lot of things I would do differently. I don't know if I can say them all here though. Probably start building my business like what I'm doing now earlier in my life, and going after figuring all this stuff out years earlier instead of wait until I was 58 to figure it out.
Yeah.
I totally hear you on that one. Now, I did have my babies early. I was 20 and 21 when they were born. So by the time I was 40, they were already out of the house. So I was a young mom. That I would not have changed because it was like when I was 40, I was still young, right? But I think what I would tell myself, my 25-year-old self, is to just slow down and to think more, because I had 49 jobs, by the time, I had 36 years with 49 jobs. And that changing of jobs, that hopping of jobs, was because of my boredom. And I think I would just tell myself, you know what, it's okay. Go ahead and build on something over here so that you have money for when you're ready to build that business. But I also would have started my business a lot earlier and taken my bumps and bruises at a much younger age, because I didn't start my business till 51. So it's, as you get a little bit older, the bumps and bruises hurt a little bit more than they do when you're younger. So I think that's, probably what I would tell myself. I don't have any regrets. That's one thing my mom taught me, that is to not have any regrets. And so I don't have any regrets for it, because I know my story is, it's part of the path I had to take in order for me to learn what I've learned now. And, but that's, what I think I would have done differently, is just slow down a little. I don't have to keep running without looking back to see what I've done and then appreciate what I have learned along the way.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Indeed, that's what I'm talking about. Indeed. That's right. Slow down if you have to. That's right. That's right. You don't have to jump out the plane all the time without a parachute, metaphorically speaking. That's right. Take a deep breath. Think about it. Then maybe jump. That's right. Or maybe just do a little walking, then some sprinting, and then some jogging. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's right, indeed. So for those who want to devour some more gems from your lovely ladies on your sites and your wonderful platforms, since a couple of you also have some platforms and know Lynda's a clubhouse queen, what's the best way for folks to do so for each of you?
Best way to contact me is to go to my website. It's called findsally.com. You'll have all the connections, all my social media, and all of my projects are all listed there.
Yeah, and you can contact me via Instagram at Soul Healing Bodywork, or you can contact me at amy@reproductivesolutionswi.com.
And this is Lynda Sunshine West. So you can find me on Clubhouse, Lynda Sunshine. And then I'm on all the social media platforms, Lynda Sunshine West, and that's Lynda with a Y. And also my website, womenactiontakers.com. And just quickly, Sunshine is not my given name. Sunshine is a name that was given to me just within the last 4 years during my personal development journey. And it's great because I stepped into it and I said, you know what, I'm going to embody that name because people are calling me Sunshine. So I adopted it. And here I am now, Lynda Sunshine. And don't call me just Lynda, because I will correct you, Lynda Sunshine.
Is she from the West Coast, y'all? West Side? West Side Sunshine. Yeah. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So there you have it, folks. Snacks and copies of the Fearless Entrepreneurs, y'all. Tell your cat about it. Tell your dog about it. Tell your penguin, your camel. Heck, tell your horse about it. Indeed. Tell all the kids in the playground about it too, so they can grow up and be like, hey, I know some awesome ladies who take some action indeed and that are fearless indeed. And share with the world, y'all. That's right indeed. And all be in the show notes as well. So any parting words from our lovely ladies on the panel?
This is Lynda Sunshine. My parting words is, if there's something you want to do in life, go do it. Because we can hope dream, desire, manifest, have all these, we can pray for things. But if it's staring us right in the face and we don't take action, nothing is going to happen. The worst thing to do in my life, in my opinion, is to get to the end of your life, like my mother, and say, I lived my life with so many regrets. So go out there and live your life with no regrets. What do you want to do? Go do it. You don't have the support in your life. Go find people who will support you, inspire you, and motivate you. Join the Women Action Takers, because that's what we're all about, is inspiring and motivating people to take action. There are people out there who want to see you succeed. Sometimes strangers want to see us succeed more than our own family. So go find those strangers who want to help you and see you succeed and live your life with no regrets.
And I would just say, be a little crazy and have some fun and enjoy the journey.
Yep. And this is Amy Lee, the Pelvis Wellness Warrior. Because I am a Pelvis Wellness Warrior, I would say to women specifically, if you are not being heard, you're not being helped. So do not stop talking. Do not stop sharing your story. When you heal yourself, you heal everyone around you. So continue to talk until you find the right practitioner, the right doctor to heal you from whatever ailment there is. Because no matter what is going on, it can be improved. It can be improved. Just don't give up.
How's it going, my friend? I'm glad you made it to the end. That shows that you really enjoyed what you heard and you are an uncommon finisher. Thanks for giving this show a listen. If you really want to help out the show, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone that you care about or someone that needs to hear this message, because we want to spread this podcast around like butter on bread, if that's your type of thing. And if it's not your type of thing, still spread it around anyway, because good stuff needs to be shared with good people like yourself.